Tyler here with TT Productions, and today we're going to do a quick tutorial on speed ramping in Premiere Pro. If you're not familiar with speed ramping, that's where it's that really cool slow-mo effect, like then it speeds up, only to slow back down again. So I'm going to do this in as few steps as possible so you can be a super dope video editor. It's imperative that you make sure you set your camera to the correct frame rate to ensure you get that super smooth, buttery slow-mo. To do this, you go into the settings. I don't know what your camera looks like, but you're going to be looking to shoot in either 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. Quick history lesson on cinema: movies are shot in 24 frames per second. So in 1 second, that movement, the motion blur that creates by putting 24 pictures together to create that movement effect, gives a certain look. Sitcoms and other TV shows, news broadcasts are shot in 30 frames per second. That gives it a little bit more of a, I don't know, home video look, if you ask me. So when we shoot in 120 frames or 60 frames per second, what we're looking to do in post is we're going to slow it down to 24 frames per second. Using some quick mental arithmetic, 120 frames slowed down to 24 frames means that every 1 second of footage is slowed down to 5 seconds. So all you need to do is find one really good looking piece of footage that's 1 second long, and that's going to give you 5 seconds of a finished product. Now granted, if you speed it up, slow it down, back and forth, it's going to vary that time, but that's a general rule of thumb that I like to follow. All that being said, let's jump right into it. As you can see, I've already dropped a clip here into my bin. I'm going to put it over here into my timeline. Also go up to sequence, double check that your settings are set to, see, it was shot in 120 frames or 119.88. We want to drop that down to 23.976. Next, I always like to just get rid of the audio because I'm not going to be using it. It sounds kind of weird and slow. Now that we have a clip, what we're going to do is go through it, find a cool spot that would look sweet in slow-mo, and then we're going to trim it up. So what we're going to do is take this clip here to this little girl waving, and we want to stop it right before that kid messes up our awesome shot. Also, please feel free to comment below if you have a better workflow. This is just what I came up with. I'm all self-taught. So I'm sure there is possibly a more efficient way to do this, but this is how I do it. Let's see, let's start it right here. I like to start with the moving camera. Right around there looks good. Hit my C button for cut. Let's find my outro point. We want to watch her waving. Doop, 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 doop. Nope, don't like that kid. Back up. Yep, right there, we're gonna stop it. All right, so trim there. Hit my V to go back to my cursor, Shift Delete, get rid of that, takes us back to the beginning of the timeline, and I'm going to delete that as well. Next, we're going to get into the speed ramping effect. To do this, you're going to want to make sure you drag your little video window up to make it larger. Next, you're going to right click on your video or on your clip, go to speed duration and change the speed to 20%. If you were shooting in 60 frames per second, you would change that to 40%. But since we shot in 120 frames per second, we're going to put it at 20% speed. As you can see, this automatically made my clip go from, 4 seconds up to 22 seconds. Now if we play this, you can see we've got some really super smooth, buttery slow-mo that just looks great. But you're thinking, man, it's really hard to watch a continuous 22-second clip. We've got to do something about that. As you can see, it's going slowly. Now it's finally going to lock on this girl, boop, and then we get that kid come up. What we want to do is we want to try and get rid of all this dead air in between here and right there. To do that, we're going to go over here to this little FX symbol. We're going to right click, go down to time remapping and speed. That enables your speed ramping. Next, we need to select points on our timeline. I'm going to zoom in a little bit to help me with that. So we saw right here is kind of where her face comes into focus. So that looks like a good point. I'll hit the P button to bring my little pointer up. Boop, drop that there. And let's see, back here, where do we want to run it from? Right around there, I think looks like a good stopping point. You make it much longer than that, it gets a bit boring. Next, we're going to hit V, and we're going to bring our cursor in here in between our 2 points that we made, and that's going to give these little up and down arrows. We're going to left click on the line and just go up with our mouse, and as you can see, that is slowly speeding up the speed to 1000%. As you notice, it did drop our clip down to only 6 seconds from 22 seconds. Now, the problem is right between here and here, it goes from really slow to really fast. To help even that out and make it a nice smooth transition, we're going to grab the point with the left mouse click, boop, boop, drag it twice this way, oh, that was 3 times, twice, and this one going back, I don't know, you only have to do it half as much, so that goes once. And now when we play it, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Speed Ramping 101. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, do it! What? Does it cost you anything to subscribe to my stupid YouTube channel? No. No, it doesn't. So why don't you do it? Hit the button. You don't lose sleep over this. You don't lose money over it. It makes me feel good about myself. Just do it. Please, I'm begging you. Hit the subscribe button. I'm not kidding. Do it, please, please. And of course, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Till next time, keep it on. And my hand couldn't reach the camera. Son of a